it is rigidly followed. And why is it rigidly followed? Obviously, as we all know, that the standards, the accounting standards which we implement in the first time, in the first year, should be followed till the last day, till the date we have that machinery, or till the date we are doing the accounting for that company. Now we come to the limitations of the accounting standards. Now, what are the limitations of accounting standards? We will be seeing in this slide. Now, basically, as we all know, the accounting standards are basically the standards which have been prepared by the ICAI, that is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, so as to maintain the uniformity, so as to maintain the same thing with all the companies, that the same type of accounting all the companies should follow, with which we can have the comparisons between each and every company's financial statements. Now the question arises, what can be the limitations? So the limitations are, as we just studied in the previous slide, that all the accounting standards have two or more methods. For example, when we take an example of depreciation, I just told you depreciation, we can have two of the methods to charge depreciation on the assets. So what are those two exactly methods? The first one is the straight line method. The straight line method simply says to charge the depreciation on the cost price of that machinery. It simply says to charge the depreciation on the cost at which we have purchased the machinery. For example, if we have purchased a machinery for say rupees 5 lakhs and we are charging a depreciation of 10% each year. So the scenario will be, in the first year, the depreciation will be 50,000 because 10% of 5 lakhs will give you 50,000. So this is the depreciation for first year. The remaining amount after the depreciation has been charged will be how much? 4,50,000. What happens? Why do we charge a depreciation? Basically, depreciation is charged so that the amount of machinery we have used up in the current year should be reduced from the price or the cost of that particular machinery. Now, why it has to be done like that? It is done in order to calculate the present value in our books within the organization. Now, the second method is the written down value method. The written down value method is also a method which is used to charge depreciation, but the procedure is a bit different. Now, what happens in this one? When we charge depreciation, what we have to do is we have to take 10% of the price. The first year's depreciation will be same for both the methods. That is 50,000 will be deducted. So the amount remaining is how much? 4,50,000. Okay. So now written down value method simply says the depreciation will be charged on the written down value. That is the amount which is left after the amount has been depreciated, the depreciation after the depreciation has been subtracted. So it will be charged, that is 45,000 only. Now how come 45,000? It is basically 10% of 4,50,000 will give you 45,000. So the amount which will remain will be 4,05,000, and the depreciation in the third year will be charged on the remaining amount. Okay. In this method, the depreciation amount will be same. That is, in the first year it was 50,000. The second year also it will be 50,000 because it says the straight line, that is each and every year the amount of depreciation will remain constant. Okay. So the amount which is left after the depreciation is basically rupees 4 lakhs. So there are two methods. So the limitation of accounting standards is they provide you two methods. Now, which one to choose is a very difficult task, which is written. Accounting standards makes choice between different alternative accounting treatments. Obviously, there are two alternative treatments. For what? For the depreciation method. Likewise, the other accounting standards also specify different types of methods and alternative treatments. So it is very much difficult. So it is basically difficult to apply the accounting standards which will be suitable for our company. Why is it difficult? You can just see there is just a minute difference. The first year is 50,000. Second year onward, there is a difference that is only a difference of 5,000. But That 5,000 is also a big difference, because in order to calculate the profits, if this machinery would have been of 50 lakhs or 5 crores or 50 crores, the difference would have been much more. So that's why it is very much difficult as to which method to apply while the calculation of depreciation. So accounting standards is flexible in providing you the treatments, but it is difficult which one to apply. Okay, so this was the first limitation. The second one is it is rigidly followed. And why is it rigidly followed? Obviously, as we all know, that the standards, the accounting standards which we implement in the first year, should be followed till the last day, till the date we have that machinery, or till the date we are doing the accounting for that company. Is that okay? So it is rigid because after you have chosen one type of accounting standards, one type of treatment of accounting standards, then you just cannot change it within the next year. It only can be changed when there is a reasonable, there is a reasonable reason with which the users will be able to benefit in taking the financial decisions for that company. So it is very much difficult. It is very much rigid that once chosen, you just can't move away. It will be same. It will be applied same throughout the years. Okay. So that had been written. It is rigidly followed and fails to extend flexibility. The flexibility is at once, that is at the starting of the use of that accounting standards, but after you have chosen, then you just can't have, then you just don't have the flexibility to change the methods or the treatments. So that's why it is said that it is rigidly followed and fails to extend the flexibility applying accounting standards. I hope this is also very much clear to you. That is, now let's come to the third one. Accounting standards can't override the statute. Statute simply means the law. Obviously, law is the supreme power. Above law, above statute, there is nothing. It cannot be like we can follow the accounting standards because it's above that. It is not above that. Accounting standards have to be implemented, have to be made, have to go hand in hand with the present law that has been written. That is, it is required to be framed within the ambit of prevailing statute, which simply means the type of law which is being run in the business, the type of law which is prevailing in India right now, then only that type of accounting standard has to be maintained. It is not like the accounting standards can be made above and over the law. So law always is at the top. Accounting standards has to follow that. Then only the accounting standards are made after looking into the law. So these were the three limitations of the accounting standard, where first one simply said there are many accounting treatments. There are so many alternatives that you can choose from. But once chosen, it becomes very much difficult. It becomes very much rigid to change. The flexibility is given to you by the accounting standards for once at the start. But after that, you don't have the flexibility. You only have the rigidity. Okay. The next one is basically that law is to be checked. Law is a supreme power. Without the law, you just can't do anything. So that's why in order to choose the accounting standards, first, the law has to be read. The first law has to be taken care of. Then only the accounting standards have been prepared. Okay. I hope this limitation of accounting standards is very much clear to you. Thank you so much.